Hello and welcome back to another episode of Nick Tiffany's Movie Reviews, coming at you online and in print format at nicktiffany.com, and audio format wherever you get your podcasts, and even in video on YouTube, TikTok, all those social media places. Today, I don't know if I would call this a festival darling, but it is certainly a film that struck me as a film festival, perfect fit. One that once I saw the trailer for it, I was kind of like, yeah, this is definitely going to be pretty art housey, independent. But knowing that going in, I think sometimes maybe it's just I've done this long enough, or my detector is pretty good in terms of like, yeah, I'm like I have a genuine feeling of what this may be like. Today we're talking about a film called Sasquatch Sunset. This film chronicles 4 seasons, a nice full year in the life of a quartet of Sasquatches who are traversing their way through the Pacific Northwest. It is entirely a slice of life kind of film. There's no dialogue because these are Sasquatches. So what you're going to get are lots of grunts and hand movements and sounds and them knocking and hooting and hollering. And I just off the bat, you know, props to the commitment of the filmmakers and the actors, and the set design just out in nature is beautiful. So the film is very pleasant to look at. They really do immerse you deep in the wooded forest, moving through creeks, checking out the flora and the fauna, just living among the woods, among nature. So the film, it's shot beautifully, beautiful sequences. Because there's really no narrative. I don't. This review is not going to be so long because again, it's 90 minutes following them around. You watch them eat, you watch them sleep, you watch them pick little ticks and things out of each other. You see the animalistic tendencies that these Sasquatches may display, whether it's in mating behavior, territorial over their food. And at times, it can be somewhat funny, because these actors are so dedicated to these performances. It's a little balls to the walls, if you don't mind my expression. Even crazier is that Jesse Eisenberg is one of those Sasquatches. And Riley Keough, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Keough, maybe. She's, I think, Jamie Lee Presley's daughter. She is also one of the Sasquatch. Not that you would ever really be able to tell that there was an actor. I mean, there's an actor underneath there, but at no point did I ever think like, oh, the really neurotic one is Jesse Eisenberg. I'm sure there's nothing that signifies like, oh yeah, I bet that's that person. So it's a curious one where I'm like, I don't know what kind of dirt the filmmakers had on Jesse Eisenberg and Riley Keough to get him to do this. Maybe they just felt like they needed a bizarre entry for a film festival. Who knows? Hollywood is Hollywood. Um, because this film, while keeping with nature documentaries, you're going to watch the Sasquatch pee. You're going to watch them poop. You're going to watch them expel bile from their mouths. You're going to look at Sasquatches having sex, Sasquatch penises, a lot of private area scratching and sniffing. Watching this, I would say from the comfort of my home, was probably a little bit better experience than I imagine some people watching this in theaters. Some people walked out of this film. I think it was either at Sundance or South by Southwest. Just, the film opens with such a tranquil piece of nature, looking through this beautiful forest, all the animals, the flowing rivers, and then you've just got two Sasquatches having sex right in the middle of the field. Just Sasquatch grunts. While the animals and other Sasquatches are watching, no less. We kind of feel like those other animals, I imagine, because you're just like, what the fuck? What? What movie is this? What am I watching? And there's more than a few moments that you're gonna have like that. I feel like if you check this film out again, because it's just full National Geographic, it is a year in the life of these Sasquatches. Now, in the background of all of this, despite not really having like a total narrative structure, the Zellners, David and Nathan, who were the directors of the film. They also did that movie Damsel for Netflix as well. They've got a subtle story kind of in the background as you move through all of these different places, these different settings through time. The Sasquatch are slowly being exposed to human interaction, whether that is deforestation in some places they don't understand, machinery, giant logs and trees that have been completely scraped free of their branches, stuff that obviously they can't make sense of. And they've never really seen these people. And so, very subtly, there is a message about the earth, about protecting nature, watching what happens to nature as humans become more involved, as become more destructive. When we get rid of these natural territories for creatures, it forces them to move, and that could put them in harm's way. So I appreciate some of that in the background. I think it comes a little bit too late. The film's at least halfway through before they kind of start alluding to like, oh yeah, you know what? Since we also love the nature we're showing, let's show you the bad things that can happen to it. So again, I think a little bit of a missed opportunity. Cinematographer Mike Giolakis, I think maybe. He does a great job just capturing the Pacific Northwest, I think, in all of its beauty. The variety of trees, of nature, the flora and fauna. I mean, it's really breathtaking cinematography that pairs well with a super pleasant and super just uplifting score from The Octopus Project. Everybody involved in this film, there's got to be something funky in this film. So yes, The Octopus Project. Don't know who they are, but a fun, lighthearted, really breezy score to kind of help you through these wooded areas. I would say that the cinematography and the music, both hand in hand, kind of push you to the finish line for this film. I didn't have as outrageous a reaction maybe as some have had. I don't think the film is without merit or that it's worthless or, it's a really specific kind of movie. I think that, maybe if you're a little buzzed, maybe if you're with a group of friends who you're all kind of a little absurdist, or it's like, wouldn't it be great if they made a movie about Sasquatches and it's a silent look at their reflection in life? And, I'm like, I know friends and people who both speak like this and would totally advocate for a 90-minute unspoken Sasquatch movie. So I know that there's an audience out there. So if this sounds like something you might enjoy, or if it seems just silly enough, give it a go. Give the Sasquatch Sunset a go. I don't think it'll harm you in the end. I think you'll certainly come away with it feeling, I don't even know what the right word is. It's one of those movies, though, immediately after I watched it, I was like, I need to talk to somebody about this. And I hope somebody else has seen this, because that was just absurd and wild and entertaining and just totally, totally different. So Sasquatch Sunset, it's coming out in limited release this week. If it's coming near a theater near you, and that's something that might be up your alley, definitely give it a go. Because unfortunately, I don't see it going too much further than the film festivals, but word of mouth is a powerful thing. So we'll let people do their thing. Thank you again for tuning in and listening to Nick Tiffany's movie reviews. You can find us everywhere on social media, all those social media networks, NT Movie Reviews, podcast platforms, the same name, and on YouTube at NT Movie Reviews. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you next time.